Hello guys, today we're going to talk about Try and Hack Me series. So this videos are going to be one of the part of the series which are coming pretty soon. And today we're going to talk about what is tryhackme.com. So basically it is nothing but web penetration testing right inside your browser. Yes. So let me show it to you and let's begin first. And let me just close this. So we'll go to tryhackme.com. As you can see, it's learning cybersecurity, making it easier to break into security all through a browser. That's tryhackme.com. I repeat, guides, challenges, and you have all sort of gamified lessons. You can learn and practice. You can access it anywhere. So you can use a Kali machine also. But right now I'm on Mac, so we'll be doing some basic things over here, and there's pretty much stuff over here which you can see. There's blog section and all, and you can see the site map just below with all the details later. So we're gonna subscribe right now, so I'm gonna hit on join now and let's fill in the details. So let's keep the name as a platypus. Well, platypus plus plus makes sense. Platypus. And email would be, it's fine if you guys see my email address. And so we'll keep the password as simple as possible, but it's fine, you can always reset the password, it's not that great deal. So let me see how complex it can be. Very strong password, very good. So let's select as a complete beginner, and of course I'm not a robot, so I'm not going to select not a robot. And well, let's sign up and let's see if we receive an email or not from them. And please verify email address. Click here to receive an email with the verification link. So my email address is over here. Let me just see. Click here to receive an email with a verification link. Okay. So we're doing everything live over here. Email sent. Please check your spam folder too. So now let's see if the email has been sent or not. Checking my spam folder. Nothing has come. Nothing has come. Let me just refresh, and well, I haven't received an email, so doesn't matter. Takes time, and here it is. Well, hi Platypus, please verify your email. So I'm gonna verify this email, and just bear with me because I'm doing everything from scratch so that you guys will come to know exactly what we're gonna do. Your account has been verified. Awesome. So these are the users, this is the rank, this is the profile, batches, my rooms, access, give feedback, logout. This is the dashboard. Let me show you the dashboard. Dashboard looks like there are paths, there are series, there are welcome, join a room, and so and so. And there are a lot of cool things over here. Um, this is something interesting. If you upgrade to a VIP, you can find all these upcoming features, or rather, one of the paths or gateways. So we're not going to go over there. We're just going to start right now, and let's begin. So we'll go to a room. So let's go to a room. So we'll select some pathway, and we're a complete beginner. So we'll go to Google Docking. So that's what we're going to talk today about, Google Docking. So now let's begin. So what is Google Docking? Google Docking explaining how search engines work and leveraging them to finding hidden content. So before going forward, let me tell you something about what Google Docking is basically. So imagine we all know Google, which we use for our day-to-day search chores. Um, we find whatever we want to, but we are very much least bothered that Google can be sometimes very much productive as well as dangerous in terms of the amount of data it has and amount of the information which could be found out. Say, for example, if you want to find an open FTP port or an SSH port or servers which are connected and which are left open, so like we can easily get into it or like find more information, or say how cool it is to download a video, a movie. on say some other sites, say for an example, how fine and how cool it would be to rather get a PDF of a latest book, so like a Harry Potter series or say Johnny Gone Down series. So these all can be found on Google, but it takes a lot of time. But while doing this particular Google Docking lesson, it makes our job pretty much less boring, less cumbersome, and it's not a mundane chore, you see. It's just about getting things right. So basically, I'm going to show you how it's done right over here. So let's go to a Google Chrome browser and let me read it out slowly. Just bear with me, okay? So Google, yeah, oh, search engine. Google is arguably the most famous example of search engines. I mean, whoever remembers ask blah blah blah. Now it might be rather patronizing, explains how the search engines work, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than what we see. Now let's see. More importantly, we can leverage this to our advantage. Just what I told you, to find all sorts of things that word list wouldn't. Researching as a whole, especially in the content of cybersecurity, encapsulate almost everything you do as a pen tester. So this guy's created this room, and it's a fantastic room, of course. So search engines such as Google are huge indexers, so especially indexers of content spread across the World Wide Web. Mhm. These essentials in surfing the internet use crawlers or spiders. Now we're going to understand the term what is a crawler, what is a spider. You can Google search them, of course, but we're going to do it right now over here across the World Wide Web, which will be our next task right here on Tryhackme. So this is completed. So whoop whoop whoop, your answer is correct. So that is the signal. This is the correct answer. So let's learn about crawlers. So, what are crawlers and how do they work? Now, bear with me. I'm going to read all this all out to you. So, just bear with me. These crawlers discover content through various means. One being by pure discovery, where a URL is visited by the crawler and information regarding the content type of the website is returned to the search engine. In fact, there are lots of information modern crawlers scrape. So, we're talking scraping also, but we'll discuss how this is used later. Another method crawlers use to discover content is by following an old URL found from previously crawled websites, much like a virus in the sense that it will want to traverse, spread to everything it can. Let's visualize something. So this is a search engine, and there's a crawler, and there's a website, and this is basically the indexing database, and the websites have been crawled, and we are using keywords as you can see over here. This is sent to the search engine, and this is entirely basically a loop. So that's how it functions basically. So in the about diagram, my website is a website which is being, say for example, apple, banana, and pear. These keywords are stored in a direct dictionary, beg your pardon, by the crawler, who then returns this to the search engine, that is Google. Because of this persistent, Google knows that the domain mywebsite.com has keywords apple, banana, and pear. As only one website has been crawled, if users was to search for apple and blah blah blah, and now let me just tell you more. So basically, we're gonna understand what a crawler is, what a spider is, and basically they're all the same. How it gets indexed and how the fun things happen, but later. Okay, so yeah, and it's illustrated below. So user search for this particular query. This is also known as a keyword, and then it is indexed from a website, and this website contains the keywords have been indexed. As simple as that. However, as we said previously mentioned, crawlers attempt to traverse, termed as crawling, every URL and file that can find. Say if my website has some same keywords as before, apple, banana, pear, but also had a URL to another website, say another website.com. The crawler will then attempt to traverse everything on that URL, say another website.com, and retrieve the contents of everything within that domain respectively. So this is pretty much self-explanatory. So same thing goes about other keywords like tomatoes, strawberries, and pineapples. I'm not going to read everything. And again, the same thing is appearing here. So recapping. So here is the domain names, and these are the keywords basically. So from one website to the other website, the search engines and crawl, and they are so much systematically advanced they automatically make them legit and put them in right inside the databases. Yes, that is correct. So you can read all this once you're reading and going through Tryhackme, Google Docking, particular lesson or a box. So coming back, plenty of websites, so like website 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, may have the same keywords like tomato, strawberry, pineapple, or apple, banana, pear. The search engine is so smart that it automatically reflects that. So now let's go to the question. A logical presumption would be website 1 to 3 will be displayed, but now that's how real work domain. So like name, okay, so let's go. Name the key term of a crawler used to do. So it's the answer format is in words. That's yeah, that's alphabet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it should be index. So let's check index all in small letters and submit. And yes, I got that right. What is the name of the technique search engine used to retrieve this information about websites? So what is the name of the technique that search engine use to retrieve this information from websites? Well, of course, it should be crawling. So like CRAWLING, and well, it's correct. What is an example of type of content that would rather that that could be gathered from a website? Of course, keywords, as we are always mentioning them. Great, we are done till here. We are correct. So we are entering something known as search engine optimization or SEO. So search engine marketing guys. Basically, we are now changing from Google Docs to SEO, search engine optimization. So how SEO works and what does SEO do and all those things. So let's see what it is. Before we go ahead, this is going to be a little bit interesting, and I would like your attention over here. So let's begin. Let me go here. Let me just zoom in. Okay, so SEO is a prevalent and lucrative topic in modern day search engines. In fact, so much so that entire business capitalize on improving a domain's SEO, and that is important, you see. At an abstract view, search engines will prioritize those domains that are earlier to index. There are many factors in how an optimal domain is resulting in something similar to a point scoring system. So there's something called as sitemaps, and we use a browser. Of course, the browser can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, and there are many things. So like, um, well, let me just zoom out and let me show it to you. So if we go to say Google Site Analyzer and try and see if we run an audit, we'll get some scores like performance, accessibility, best practices, SEO. So that's what is SEO about. So there are automated tools over there. You can Google search them, of course. But who or what regulates the crawlers? Let's read it. Aside from search engines who provide these crawlers, web server owners or themselves ultimately stipulate what content crawlers can scrape. So remember, content is the king, okay, and crawlers do the rest of the job. So if a content is the king, then you're highly doing good on search engine. That's what we want to retrieve everything from a website. But there are a few cases where we wouldn't want all the content of a website to be indexed. Can you think of what? So this is something interesting. Administrator can set or admin robots.txt. So okay, we have completed this. So now let's talk about robots.txt. So we're talking about indexing and how indexing can be regulated. So yeah, similar to sitemaps, we'll discuss it about crawlers. So say we are using a user agent asterisk, which automatically means all. So everything in default is known as all. Forward slash meaning all the root of the directory, as we all call it in Linux terminology. So user agent, you can allow, and there's disallow, and there's something called as sitemap. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit detail. And let's see about, say we have a crawler of sitemap.xml. So remember that XML is the format wherein a sitemap is stored. Okay, now this is important, and we can allow disallow as we have read it earlier. And well, it's as simple as that. So let's start answering questions. Okay, where would robots.txt be located on the domain ablog.com? Well, simple, right? ablog.com / robots.txt. I'm sorry, type a mistake. And let's see if it's correct. It's correct. If a website was to have a sitemap, where it would be located? Now, as we know, it's a three dot extension, so it should be XML. So like, let's see, sitmap dot XML is the right answer. Submit. That's correct. How would we only allow Bing bot to index the website? So this is interesting. Bing bot. So we can type in like user agent, and so user agent is not the one word, of course. You can leave a space, but we are just showing as a hyphen over there. User agent, Bing bot. Let's see. That's correct answer. Wow, we are not spree. How would we prevent a crawler from indexing the directory don't index me? So don't index me. How would we prevent it? So we need to disallow it. So disallow don't index me makes sense. So disallow disallow, and then don't index me looks good. Let's see. Is correct. What is the extension of a Unix Linux system configuration file that we want to crawlers? Oh, I think it's an XML, but it's a four-letter word. I think it's conf. Um, I think it's conf. Yeah, check it out. Brilliant. We're done with that. Now we're going further sitemaps. So let me just tell you about sitemaps. We all are aware that sitemaps are nothing but something like these footer of the website mostly, and they are also important when it comes down to SEO and SEM, that's search engine marketing, which will come to it later. Also about crawlers, indexing, and robots.txt. So sitemap is of utmost importance, and it is a good practice by an administrator to set up a sitemap for a given website or a web project or a web app rather. So let's see. Comparably, it's like a geographical map. So you can see over here. I'm not gonna read all of this, and this is the code basically. And okay, let's answer the question. The easier a website is to crawl, the more optimized it is for search engine. Wow, that's a nice one. What is the typical file structure of a sitemap? I think it's XML. Um, structure. XML. Oh, it's the correct answer. Great. What real life example can sitemaps be compared to? So, what's a real life example? I think it's a TXT or geographical map. So, map is the right answer. Name the keywords. Right, correct. Name the keyword for the part taken for content on a website. So, there's 3, 4, 5. So, it has to. So, how about route? Route. All right. Now we are into Google Docking. This is what we're using Google for advanced searching. Hmm. Well, this looks easy, and you can go all. through all this. It's not that difficult. So file tab stands for file tab as in PDF and JPEG, PNG, cache as in the old ones. The cache is stored for a specific URL and all those stuff. Here's a good example. And index title of, and that's how it is. So let's start answering. What would be the format used to query the site bbc.co.uk about flood defenses? So the answer is looks pretty huge. So like, let me think. So it has to be, as you see from the format, pay close inside BBC. So just a moment, let me just see if there are spaces, and yes, there are spaces. So site bbc.co.uk flood defenses. Let's check this out. And we are correct. What term would you use to search by file type? By file type, okay. So, of course, file type, as in the file type. Great. What term can we use to look for login pages? So it has to be we entitle type entitle entitle I think login and colon login. Well, that's it. Congratulations, you have done it. We have done it. Thank you for watching.